Hi everyone, I'm back for another update. I think it's been about 3 weeks since my last one. Try and get them done every couple of weeks, but just haven't got round to it. Husband's gone out for a scuba diving taster session, or something like that, at our local swimming pool. So don't know when he'll be back. He did say I could come and watch if I wanted. I'm quite interested to see what they're doing, but I've already been to that pool once today with my class, taking them swimming, and I think I'm quite tired, and the warm atmosphere will probably send me to sleep, and I'm kind of edged towards having an evening of floss tubing and stitching and catching up with Big Brother. Yes, I do love that crap. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, so I haven't worked on that many things, although I did have a start and a finish during my Christmas holidays. So that kind of shows you just how much I can get done in my free time off work compared to when I'm actually at work. So I think in my last video I must have shown you some of what I had started, so I'll show you what it is. So this is called Stitching Time by Country Cottage Needleworks. Yeah, so I substituted the suggested floss for mostly Weeks Dye Works, and then one of them was a Dinky Dyes. I think it was that one that was a Dinky Dyes silk. So yeah, it's the one I've used for the crosses around the border and the one for fabric, but all the rest were different shades of Weeks Dye Works. So I planned that out before I started, and yeah, I'm really pleased with how well all the colours have gone together. I changed what the girl looks like so that she had slightly lighter hair. And I also added as well, and this was a bit fiddly, I also added my initials, although it looks backwards to me, it might look the right way around to you, but I added my initials and the year. And I did actually stitch 2016 by mistake, because I think I finished it a few days into January. So yeah, it took me a few attempts at kind of being happy with where I positioned it and that sort of thing, but yeah, overall I'm really pleased. Slightly less border around the edge than maybe I would have liked. I think I was a bit stingy with the border that I gave it, but I've got a frame. It came, I think I ordered it from eBay, it came yesterday. So it's like a white decorative frame, so when I get round to it I will frame it and put it in my little cross stitch framing corner. So yeah, that's that one. It's stitched on, I think it's 32 count even weave, but it's in a pale green colour. It's from Sew It All. I don't know what the actual name is. Got it from the craft fair at Alexandra Palace back in October. So yeah, really pleased with that. Yep. And so that's my start and finish. Then the other things that I have started, so once I had finished that, I made a start on one of the designs in the Barbara Anna series called A New World, and I started with the one that's called, I think it's called Deep in the Woods, and this is where I'm at so far. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that I had a little bit of trouble with this. I had stitched, I think I started by stitching this tree here, and then I did lots of other bits around it. I don't know if you look close up, you might be able to see some of the enlarged holes where some of it was unpicked. But I'd stitched this tree, and then I'd stitch a few other things around it, and I'd obviously counted where things were based on, you know, how I'd stitched this. And then I realised quite a way into it that this was the trunk of this tree was one stitch too short. So it meant that this tree here was wrong. I couldn't correct it well. I could have made it so that these two were the same, had the same number of rows, and then it kind of would have had a knock-on effect on something else. And I was kind of contemplating trying to adjust things. I don't think I could be bothered at the time. And then I thought, oh, I'll just have to unpick it, I think, because it'll just become hard work and I won't want to complete it. So I unpicked everything that I did around here. So this is the second time I've stitched this tree, second time I've stitched this tree. I'd already stitched that, and so basically I took everything out and was just oh no, not that one, that one. And I was just left with this, which was right. I double counted and checked a million times. And then I went from this, and then I did the fox, and then I think I did the flowers, and then I kind of went up here, and then I went round to here. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. Lots of colour changes, and yeah, so a little bit time consuming that way, but I really like it. It's being stitched on a piece of, this is 32 count Belfast linen from Sparkly's, and it's in a colour called Shades of Autumn. So I don't know if you can see that well on the camera, but it's kind of greens, reds and yellows. So it's kind of greeny down here, more yellowy, reddy sort of over here. And then my needle minder is from Needle Keep Emporium, my favourite needle minder shop. I recently ordered 2 more a couple of days ago, so I look forward to getting some exciting stitchy post. Yeah, so I thought this was quite a good one to match this. So I know the Stash Queen is like an expert at matching her needle minders to her project, so that's as close as I could get for this one. So yeah, really enjoying this. I bought all of the ones in this series, so there's 5, and it'll end up being quite a long panoramic style design. I think the next one I'll do is one that it's like an underwater scene. So I can't remember the actual name of it, but I think I'll do that one next. And I've already bought some fabric for it. I bought it when I bought this one, which was called Gina's Delight. So it was a light blue green fabric. So yeah, really pleased with that. I feel like this is going to be quite a short video. I haven't planned this at all. I just got my projects out that I've worked on since my last video, and that's about it. So that is what I've been currently working on. I haven't been switching too much between whips recently. I've kind of picked one out and stuck with that for a while. So yeah, I don't think I've stitched, apart from the one I'm going to show you, I've just been switching between 2 since the start of January. Okay, so this is my other one. Now, I've not put any photos of this on Instagram because I'm stitching this for my husband, and he follows me on Instagram. Not that he ever comments or looks, or I don't know. He's only joined it so he can read things that people put on Twitter or something, I don't know. So I doubt he'll ever look at it anyway. And he doesn't watch my FlossTube. So I wonder if you can tell what it is just from this. Any guesses? It is the head of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So I can't actually show you the picture because all I have is the chart. I'm going to try and be fancy. I've downloaded a new video editor app on my phone, excuse me. So I'm going to try and insert a picture here. Whether that has worked or not, I shall see when I've uploaded it onto YouTube. But I'll try and insert a picture of it, or I should have already inserted a picture of it. This is from Daily Cross Stitch on Etsy. I think they actually have a main website as well, like dailycrossstitch.com. I do actually get emails from them. I think, yeah, daily, as the name would suggest. Yeah, but give you free charts. So I used to get into the habit of saving them or downloading them to my phone, but I couldn't keep up with it. And then, so this maybe at some point could have been a free chart that was sent to me, but it cost me £3 on Etsy, so it's not the end of the world. So this is obviously his mouth, this will be his eye, it carries on up round here, and he's wearing a nice top hat, and he's drinking a cup of tea. T-Rex, get it? So husband likes dinosaurs. Boyfriend, been married for over a year. He likes dinosaurs, he also likes tea. Don't know what to get him for Valentine's Day, so a T-Rex cross stitch it is. I've managed to stitch this up quite quickly. Yeah, so again, I've only stitched on this when he's not around, although would he take any notice of what I'm stitching? Probably not. So I could probably quite easily do it in the same room and he wouldn't even know. So yeah. This is being stitched on a piece of, must be 14 count Ada. This is from the same place as my green even weave, sewitall.com, and it's called confetti because it's got like pastel shades of confetti printed onto it, and it's also sparkly. I used this a long time ago for a design I stitched for my sister. It was some pandas from the World of Cross Stitching magazine, and I had a little bit left in my stash big enough for this. This will only be, I think, like 3 by 4 inches or something like that. So I had enough of this to use for this, so I thought it was quite nice. This needle minder here, I think I showed you, I got this for Christmas. My sister bought it for me. And I have a new frame cover. So yeah, I'd never actually had one for the smallest Q-snap or R&R frame, so I ordered myself one, and this was from a lady on Facebook who has a page called Crafty All Sorts. So I think I've got about, I think I must have ordered about 4 or 5 from her. This one comes from her. This one, I also ordered, if I can find it, another one for my 11 by 17 frame. It's got you know, scissors and sewing machines, you know, that kind of theme. So I haven't actually used it yet because I haven't stitched on my 11 by 17 frame since getting this, but yeah, looking forward to using it. The one I have already on there, if you've seen my previous videos, you might know it's like Scrabble tiles. It's a little bit loose, so it doesn't do that great a job at holding all the extra fabric in. So this one feels really, really tight and stretchy, so I think this will probably do the job a bit better. So yeah, that page is called Crafty All Sorts. Her page doesn't seem particularly active. There doesn't seem to be lots of people that, you know, well, I could be wrong, but there's not a lot of recent activity that's, you know, going on her Facebook page. But all the pictures of the materials there. All I did was comment underneath the pictures, and she replied, sent me a message, and for both of these, including postage, was £11.20. So I didn't think that was too bad. So yeah, so really lovely lady. Kept me well informed, sent me messages about when she'd done them and posted them and whatnot. So yeah, really, really pleased with those. I suggest you check her out because her prices are really reasonable and the quality is really good. Yeah, so they're the 3 things that I have worked on. I think once I've finished the video, I'm going to go back to working on this one. Or I might actually do a little bit of this while husband's out diving in probably a baby shallow end of a swimming pool. Yeah, so stash wise, I've already talked to you about my frame covers. I've got 2 needle minders coming from Needle Keep Emporium. I've also joined the, I might be repeating what I've said in previous videos, I've also joined the Fabric of the Month club with Sparklies, so I've paid my first invoice for January. So I guess I'll receive that sometime soon. I don't mind, I'm just wanting to add to my fabric stash so I've got a bit more of a variety to choose from if I wanted to start a new project. Oh yeah, also, I don't know if anyone else out there subscribes to Cross Stitch Crazy magazine. I've subscribed for a few years now, and I pay £20 for 6 months. So that works out to about £3 something per magazine, compared to £4.99 that you would pay if you just bought it from WH Smith's or wherever. I got a letter in the post about a week ago saying they are increasing the cost of subscription to, I couldn't believe it. It wasn't just £1 or £2, but up to £30 for 6 months. £30. So that's £5 an issue, which is then the same price as what you pay in the shops for it. I always thought if you bought it on through subscription you get it cheaper. Maybe I've just misinterpreted that, I don't know. But I'm thinking I'm going to cancel it, and I might go to a digital subscription, because a digital subscription is half the price. It's £30 for 12 months. Although I do quite like receiving a magazine in the post. It makes sense, one, because it's cheaper, and two, because, you know, magazine storage and, you know, taking up lots of space could potentially become an issue at some point, because I've already got loads. So there may come a point where I have to kind of think about doing it digitally, instead of actually getting a hard copy. So yeah, I actually need to get around to phoning them to cancel it. They're only open Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, and it's really awkward for me to try and make any phone calls during that time, because I don't even get much of a lunchtime. And even when I do, I'm doing photocopying, sorting out lessons, whatever else comes up. Yeah, so I don't think I've got much else to talk about. I've enjoyed watching lots of people's floss tubes. I think I watched Stitcheristas the other day. I watched one of Mumula's, Essex Stitcher as well. I hope all goes well with the birth of your baby. I think that will be soon. Quite a lot of others. I can't remember everyone, but I haven't had much time to sit and watch, you know, binge watch loads. I've just sort of watched them and squeezed them in where I can. So yeah, as you can see, I now have sofas. I've also got, oh, I'm not pointing in the right place. I've also got Neil the Sloth, free cuddly toy with a sofa. So if I turn the camera around, you'll be able to see my stitchy spot. There you go. So nice and comfy now. Lowry stand, perfect position. Although it's fine to use like this. I don't know if you can see. Oh, where is it? Oh, ignore my big zoomed in face there. I've just realised you can see right up my nose. If I have to kind of sit slightly towards the left hand side of the chair, because the arms are rather wide, so I may, it's not really bothering me too much at the moment, but I may have to invest in an extender bar, possibly, if it starts annoying me. So yeah, I did also order an attachment where you can attach the chart to it, but it hasn't yet come, so I need to chase that up. Anyway, I will stop waffling. I'll try and insert the picture of the T-Rex for those of you that are interested. And oh yeah, I did also mention my cross stitch corner. I'll try and insert a picture of that here, and you all know what I am talking about. So thank you to everyone that has left me comments on my previous videos. I do read them all. Apologise if I don't always reply. I do try to. Sometimes I forget. But yeah, so I'm loving watching everyone's videos, and I hope that everyone has a lovely stitchy week, fortnight, until I see you next time. So goodbye.